This conference will now be recorded.
All right, looks like we are recording. I'll take liberties of calling the special meeting of the HPC to order. It is Wednesday, November 4th at 5:30 p.m. and we're conducting the meeting on a virtual GoToMeeting platform. We did have a meeting scheduled for last week. We did have some technical difficulties and some errors in the phone number, so we did not conduct a legal meeting. So we need to kind of ratify everything that we'd gone over at the beginning last week. I have taken roll call, and with members Bruflat, Oviatt, Metzen, and Bergerman in attendance, we have established that we have a quorum present. Ladies and gentlemen, the agenda is in front of you. At the last meeting, we did have a motion by Brian and a second by Emily to approve the minutes or the agenda. Would you two consent to that again?
Yes.
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 Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. At the last attempt at a meeting, we had a motion by Potts and a second by Oviatt to approve the minutes. Would anyone want to step in for Larry and make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept.
All right, got a motion by Bergerman. Brian, are you still okay with the second?
Yep, I'll second.
All right, all in favor of the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We did review the Thrivent and we did kind of give Brian the approval, but there were no reservations. A couple of you mentioned that you thought it was nicely done. It would look good. And again, we had a motion by Emily then with a second by Larry to provide the approval for Mr. Jones at the Thrivent with the new awning. Emily, would you still make a motion?
Yes.
And would someone want to make a second of that?
Bergerman will second.
I got a Terry Bergerman second. All in favor of the Thrivent approval? I guess ratification of the Thrivent approval,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Very good. Thank you very much. Lisa Ide, and again, Lisa and Jill Haas were both invited to join us. Lisa is looking to open up a second boutique. It would be in the two storefronts that had previously been occupied by the refinery. You will see the logo that she's developed is on page 12 of the packet. And then there's a little mix up in the ordering. So the building that it would go on is actually on page 18 at the back. And you'll notice the two oval signs on the frontage of that property. She's just proposing to take down the refinery logo and put that Reckless logo that's depicted on page 12. Are there questions for that?
I got a question.
Yeah, Terry.
Being that these are the same people that had that goofy light system, right?
No. This is Lisa Ide from her Happy Place.
Oh, the Happy Place gal. Well, then I don't have a problem with it.
Would you make a motion to approve putting that Reckless logo on the oval signs and reinstalling them?
I'll make a motion to have them done.
Would anyone want to second that so we can open it to discussion?
I second it.
We have a second by Metzen. There's only four of us, so just feel free to go ahead if you've got questions or comments.
I have no issues.
Yeah, I think it looks really nice. I like that it mirrors her Happy Place look. I think that's really classy looking. So it's really nice.
Very good. No further discussion. I will call a roll call, and I will start with Bergerman.
Aye. Good to meet.
Member Metzen.
Aye.
Member Bruflat.
Aye.
Member Oviatt.
Aye.
Motion carried. Thank you. Who made the motion? I didn't write that down.
Terry.
I wrote it down. Or I wrote it down. Oh,
It's
I wrote
Terry.
it down in the wrong spot. I'm sorry. Lisa's likely to come back to you with a sandwich board for that location also, but she's hoping to get up and running here and hopefully get a little bit of commerce before the Christmas season. It's going to be a boutique similar to what she has, but probably orientated to more of a little bit younger of a clientele. The next application is Freebird. This is in the former Fair Emporium building where the Dr. Stelter had their business. Terry, this is the business owner that did have the gooseneck light issue. But Ms. Haas is looking to locate into that building, again, another type of a boutique gift store called Freebird by Olita. She's looking to paint the lower level. As you can see, it's kind of a crude depiction on page 16. And then I had to paint chip, I think, that I had in everybody's packet. The color is technically called sushi. I would say it's more of an ivory or a cream colored would be how a southern Minnesota guy would say that. I'm not familiar with sushi.
See?
So the other issue, Jill would like to install a wood slat awning. The best picture of something similar that we could find is in your packet on page 17, and it's not a crystal clear photo. But if you'd had done some wood slat awning depictions, there are a number of them. She would look to just have a stained wood, so it would not be proposed to be colored. When I met with Jill in advance, I talked about, if you'll recall, the Atwood Realty had put in a metal slat type of awning. Theirs was the flat one, so it was not the beveled or at an angle off the building. And ultimately, the HPC did not approve that one. But given that this is wood, it would maintain that flared look, or it would not be look like a pergola roof. Jill wanted to present that to you, and I said I would put that in the packet, and we'd have a conversation with you. Perhaps if you are split on it and perhaps are okay with the painting, but have reservations about the awning, we could do the approval in 2 phases. I certainly wish Jill had been here. And I don't see that I have any phone calls. So comments?
I got the one. I said, I don't have any interest in her getting any of it because she didn't remove them lights until Tuesday of last week. I went by there Monday and they were still up Monday night. And Tuesday's when she took them down. So how do you know she's going to even abide by what we say?
Yeah, we gave her months to get that done. And so she finally did it. I'd helped her pick out a product that would work for her, that is solar powered, but I told her to put the solar pack on the roof so it's invisible, and then don't just have the wires hanging down, at least have them taut against the fixture or something of that nature. So, but I believe that she's looking to get that installed sometime in the near future. Yeah, she did abide by all the other restrictions that we had on her, and followed everything else that was approved. But
Yeah, so I have no interest in, if I have to vote, I'm voting nay because I have no interest in believing anything she says.
Who is she going to have install the awning? That's my question too. Is there a professional installer going to be installing this?
well, her and her, I believe Craig Tolzman is her brother, perhaps, and they're
Okay.
the ones that are partners in the storefront, and they've been doing the interior remodeling. I wouldn't doubt if Craig was intending to put his craftsmanship skills to use.
I'd prefer to see a better rendering of what they're going to do based on the history of the other building and not following through. I'd like to see a better plan on this as opposed
Sure.
to giving them a wide open gate. So I suggest that that we separate out the awning because I'd be against it with what's being proposed at this point.
So Brian, would you move the approval of the sushi ivory color painting of the lower level and then tabling of the wood slat awning until the next meeting?
Yeah, I would. Is this going to involve removal of the green awning, you said? Before
Well,
they
the
can-
green awning is down. The frame is up now. So I think they were looking to assemble the wood slats over that metal frame that the green canvas had been on.
Okay.
So how about if we ask for a little bit defined plan or
Yes.
specifications or
Yeah, and a timeline.
the timeline? Sure. And I told her I didn't know if you'd approve the awning, so I think she'll be satisfied at this point just to get the painting done. And she's glad that the weather's cooperating because tomorrow's probably going to be an ideal to get some paint on the building. So Brian, could I put that as Oviatt moves to approve the painting of the lower level, the sushi color as presented, but table the wood slat awning until the next assembly?
Yeah, and I would also add looks like she wants to paint the wood around the windows up top. Is that correct or no? That's what's in the rendering.
Yeah, I see that too on page 16.
All right.
Doesn't.
I think she told me she was going to leave that the same as it is now. So I think that she was going to take that off. But if you want to remove that, Brian, from the approval,
She's got paint window trim and fresh creamy white, paint the lower section of doorways. Is that what she's asking, or is that not what she's
yeah. When I
asking?
had my conversations, I think she was withdrawing painting the second story windows.
Okay, so
That might look a little funny.
Is she
Yeah.
painting brickwork?
Okay, we're gonna have you all were one. Emily, you had a comment.
I was saying that might look a little funny. I just kind of looking at the two pictures back to back, and I'm not sure with the having the white and then the kind of the red color and then green trim. That's a lot of colors. So I'm
right.
wondering if we should encourage her to paint with the window trim. I think that would be better.
So paint the second story window trim,
Yeah.
the cream color. You agree, others?
Well,
Yeah,
my question is she wanting to paint the brickwork too?
She just wants to repaint the brickwork that's already painted, Joe.
Or already
That
has
had paint on it. Yeah, and then when the Stelters went in, we allowed them to paint the brick that had previously been painted. And
Okay.
so if it was virgin brick, no, I would not approve or recommend your approval of any type of a painting. But again, once it's painted, SHPO is somewhat of the opinion that the removal of the paint would do more damage than the paint remaining.
yeah. I would suggest that if they're going to paint the lower facade, they would have to paint the upper
Window
window
trim?
trim to match, so it doesn't get so
Okay.
dang busy. Just like Emily said, good point there.
All right. Would anyone be willing to second the motion?
Emily will second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there further discussion?
So the motion is the approval of the paint separate from
Yep. So what I've got a motion is to approve the painting of the building as presented with the cream colored, including the trim of the second floor windows, and to table this or consideration of the wood slat awning until the next assembly, and in anticipation of receiving a little bit more defined plans and specs.
Okay.
Russ, does that motion, does that mean that I guess I want to be very clear that if they paint the facade, they have to paint the windows. We don't want to leave two different colors
I'll tell her to
there.
paint the windows first.
Yep.
Yes. So,
Okay. All right.
yep. And I think she's going to do it tomorrow, so I'll stay on
Okay.
top of her.
Sure.
And it shouldn't take her much more than maybe a half hour to paint the extra windows. So,
Sure.
okay, we have a motion and a second. Further discussion. Hearing nothing, I will call roll with Metzen,
Aye.
member Bruflat,
Aye.
member Oviatt,
Aye.
member Bergman.
Nay.
Motion passes 3-1. Now I got to write that down instead of all. So hold on. PB, no. Okay, motion carried. I don't have anything else for business other than the report that the city council did reauthorize putting out for those central business district accessibility enhancement grants. Last year, we funded 3 automatic door systems. I am assembling, well, I've invited people to a go-to-meeting this Friday at noon, the building owners and the tenants, to talk about it. Last year, we did 3 buildings had automatic doors put in them: Riley Tannis and Associates, Swedish Contour, and Kind Vet Clinic. And the city pays 100% of the costs. The building owner enters into a 15-year agreement to maintain the improvement, and the loan then is forgiven 1/15 a year. So at the end of the 15th year, there's no repayment obligations. All 3 applicants and recipients were thrilled. Went very well, very easily done. But if there are renovations, ramps, or physical things of that nature, it would require HPC review. As Mr. Prafke and I discussed the doors, we did not bring it to you to install that door push button. And we tried to locate them in the most appropriate place where it's near the door, but as unobtrusive as possible. Any questions on that program? I should send you a video. There's a really, really cool handicap lift that's actually, it starts out as a stairway, and then it flattens out and lowers onto the ground level. You wheel your wheelchair, it lifts you up like a lift, you roll off, and then it converts back into stairs. So very, very, very cool, but probably a little too contemporary for historic downtown St. Peter. So someone could make a wood copy with ratchets and things, we could maybe get something to work. So folks, I don't have anything else for the good of the cause. There it is. Would anyone move the adjournment?
So moved.
We have a motion by Metzen, adjourn. Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
I'm going to
Take
go
your-
with Brian Oviatt. I saw his lips moving. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 Thank you very much, everybody. You have a wonderful evening.
You too.